Hey everyone, TLSG here, back again with another Marvel Snap video. Now today I don't have any gameplay videos, I don't have any deck builds for you guys. What I do have is a news post. I wanted to make a quick video because Marvel Snap just released their first season, so their first full season pass. They had a partial season with the Iron Man season that was kind of a partial part of a month. But that was more of a placeholder. You were able to unlock that with gold. And there is one key thing that stands out with this new season, so the season being Atlantis Beach Club. And that is that there are a couple of key things that I want to touch on actually. The first one being that you cannot unlock this season with in-game currency, so you can't unlock it with gold. So that takes the potential free-to-play player out of the mix of getting these season rewards. At least before, if you grinded each weekly reward, you could get some gold, you could build it up. Maybe every other month you could purchase the premium pass. But with this, there is only real world currency that you can buy it with. The second big thing being that with the release of Atlantis Beach Club, the premium season pass, they have released a brand new card in Wave. So Wave is a 3-cost, 3-power card that on the next turn, cards in both players' hands now cost 4. So where you're going to be able to see this played is if you're running maybe a high-power deck and you are running some really high 6-drop cards, you're going to be able to squeeze those out ahead of time to really get some additional value. Now, the card itself, I am okay with. I think it adds some pretty cool, unique aspects to gameplay. Where I have a potential concern is from a competitive level. So as a casual player, they have said that this new card will be released after the season ends. It'll be released into the current card pool. But with that being said, that means that you have one full ranked season if you want to be free to play. If you don't want to purchase the premium pass with real world money, you are not going to be able to have this card. The rest of the rewards seem pretty standard. You have your booster packs, your credits, your gold, your card variants, your avatars, pretty standard stuff from what we saw from the Iron Man partial season. But the biggest thing being that with purchasing this, as soon as you purchase it, you get access to a brand new card that you're not going to have access to otherwise. So in terms of a casual card game, I think this is a great way to encourage people to support the developers. I think they have done a phenomenal job. The graphics of the game, the overall package of the game, the soundtrack is all phenomenal. I think it is a very well polished game. I think it has a lot of merit in not just it being a quick, speedy card game, but also just a card game itself. I think it has some really cool, unique aspects that give it an advantage over others. But if we are looking at a competitive level from a card game, not just like a mobile card game, but a competitive card game overall, if we're looking at comparing it to games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh even, then having access to a brand new card for that season, whether that be for high-level tournaments, high-level ladder rank play, it could potentially swing that in a large direction. So if I am trying to compete on a very high level, a high skill cap level, I'm gonna feel like, and not every month, sometimes the card that's being released is not gonna be meta breaking. It's not gonna be game changing. There are some scenarios where I can see that it would be. And even if not, just having access to this tool could be what puts you at a distinct advantage or disadvantage over someone else. So being able to compete at a very high level, I could see this really changing things, either for a tournament or for your in-game rank ladder. If you are a kind of casual mid-range player, I don't think this impacts you as much, but that does lean more towards a casual experience. So for me, myself, I typically hang out at the higher end of the ladder, not anywhere near like top 10%. I usually, so like for Hearthstone, for example, I am able to hit legendary fairly easily, but from there I don't really grind out to be top 100, top 1000, top 50. I am content in grinding up to a certain point and then just kind of experimenting with different decks. So this doesn't necessarily impact me as much, but if I was trying to push for, rank 1, or play, if there were later down the line, there were tournaments, then this could cause advantages where me, as a typical free-to-play player, I'll buy some card packs to support the development team. I'll buy a few things here and there, but usually like a premium pass I don't buy, just because it is a reoccurring purchase that you don't necessarily usually get much out of. But this kind of aspect makes me as a player feel like I need to have this, and so I think it's dangerous. I think the implementation has to be carefully considered, because if you release a card that just breaks the meta, it breaks all current decks and builds, and all of a sudden that is the card, you're going to feel like you need to purchase that. And doing that for month after month after month can lead to feeling like this is a pay-to-win game. Whereas you want it to be, as a card game, you want it to be a game of skill. You want that skill cap to be what really sets you as a player apart from others. So I think the implementation has to be very carefully considered. For me, myself, I don't think it impacts me as much because I'm not competing at that very high-end level. And I will be purchasing at least several of the premium passes as we go towards a full release. But overall, I think that as a staple for like a competitive game, I'm not so sure that I'm sold on this model. Now, the other thing that comes with this season release is that the season rank rewards have been reset, and with that we get to see kind of what that looks like from season to season. So I ended the previous season at rank 57, 58, and you lose 30 ranks, or 30 plus ranks. So you lose 3 tiers. So since I was in tier 5, I lose 3 tiers. So I drop down to 40, 30, and then 20. The sub tiers or sub levels that I got in between don't count. So it's not going to put me at 28. It's going to put me at the start of that previous tier. 3 tiers below, it's going to put me at the start of that. So for me, that is rank 20. And then with that, your rank rewards change. It looks like they're going to change each month when that rank ladder resets. And then to unlock the previous ranks, so let's say I was rank 70 and I dropped down 3 tiers. To get the previous rank unlocks, I have to win 10 games on that current season to be able to access those. That way, if I'm rank 100, I'm not going to drop down to rank 70 and then just instantly get all of the credits, all of the avatars, without even necessarily playing. So if I have quit playing between last season and this season, I'm not going to get it right away. I still have to be active in the current season to unlock it, which I do like. I think it encourages prolonged play. But overall, it does look like we are moving closer to open sourcing gameplay. So there is an open beta that is coming for the Philippines for the Google Play Store and the iOS. So I think with that comes the potential to open up to larger markets, larger areas. So I do think those are coming down the line. For those of you that are not in the closed beta, I'm really excited for you guys to be able to jump in, try this out, because it has been a very good experience overall. It's been very fresh. It's fun to be playing in a different card game aspect altogether, because as you grind out your standard card game, whatever you were playing, it tends to get stale. It tends to get where you're seeing the same matchups over and over. It becomes cumbersome. So this has been a really good, fresh take on the card game genre. The gameplay, the graphics, the music have all been really pristine. and the experience overall has been good. So I'm excited for you guys to be able to jump in, which it does look like is coming sometime soon. But that is all that I have to cover for this video. What are your thoughts on the season pass rewards releasing cards alongside a season pass, a real world currency purchase? Are you a fan? Are you kind of against it? So right now I stand kind of in the middle ground. I think it could be unimpactful so that the developers get the support that they deserve. But I also think in some scenarios it could swing the meta entirely, where you're going to feel like you need to drop that $10 in that month to be competitive with the rest of the ladder. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more Marvel Snap content too soon. I hope you guys enjoy. This has been TLSG. See you later.